On this episode of Doing the Most, we're going to taste test the difference between a mead and a honey shine made from the exact same mead.
Homemade brews and various how-tos, everything from mead to roast, bake creation, fermentation, inebriation, doing the most.
We have a very special video today. This is going to be a short video.
Okay.
Because there's not content to show about the origin of these items.
That's reasonable.
But what we have here is a traditional mead. So honey, water, yeast, and some nutrients. And we have a spirit that has been distilled from this batch of mead. Okay? And so what we're going to do today is just a quick tasting video where we taste the mead, we talk about it. It's not a great mead, which is probably why it ended up going through this process.
Makes sense.
But we can talk about this, and then we can drink the spirit and talk about what we do or don't taste from this mead in the spirit.
So it's almost like a grappa come on then that this person has created.
Yeah, I think that the colloquialism is honey shine. It's a distilled spirit made from mead.
Cool.
So let's give it a whirl. This is about 13%.
Okay.
And then what is in this bottle here is 45%.
Okay.
So
So
big
a fairly, it was started with like a fairly high ABV mead.
Yeah, 13% is a pretty middle of the road traditional mead, but it's not hydromel.
Right.
But it's a full-bodied mead. This mead also had no balancing done, so it's a show mead. You're getting just the flavor of the honey and whatever the yeast contributed.
Cool.
Cheers. The honey for this mead is a volcano wildflower honey. It's a honey that comes from flowers that grow in this kind of sooty soil on the side of a volcano.
Like from Hawaii or?
Somewhere in South America.
Okay, cool.
I think it was South America, maybe Central America.
And it's dry, very dry. It's extremely earthy. There's not a ton of sweetness going on here.
Yeah, just a little bit of a hint of sweetness.
And you can get the honey, but it's not up front.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say.
Yeah, and part of that is because it's very dry.
Yeah.
But
cool.
it's not boozy. You do get those florals, but it's not a distinct floral. It's definitely like a clovery, wildflowery, honey bear honey kind of honey character, but absent any sweetness.
And I would definitely see why someone might turn this into something else, because it's not my favorite mead.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not gross. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not what I think of when I think of a mead.
It could use balancing.
Sure.
It's not awful. It's better than a lot of commercial traditional mead we've had.
That's fair. Very fair.
So this is the spirit made from this exact same mead. Say when.
Good.
Should I be doing this?
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely made out of honey.
Oh yeah. Kind of also smells like my hands.
Well, but that's what. So I've been taught that with grappa, you put it in your hands and you can do that, and you can smell like what's in it.
Perfumes it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you can tell if it's like apricot forward or what the primary fruit is. And this smells like honey.
Yeah. Garrett, and I say Garrett taught me this one. I think it was Chef actually that taught him this one, where you like swirl it and capture it, and then.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I can smell florals in there. There's a faint sweetness in there, which some spirits just kind of have by the virtue of being a spirit. But if you gave me this side by side with a vodka or like a White Dog whiskey, I would be able to tell that this wasn't either of those.
I wouldn't be able to tell that it was made of honey, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not just by having a sip of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, it's good. It's It's potent.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, I will say you could mix this with something, like if you mix this with something, I don't know, honey-esque or something like
Maybe
that.
just filtered honey.
Yeah, like it would be a pretty killer deal because it would pull that from this and probably calm down the heat just a touch.
Yeah,
But-
I would be interested in having something like this with some filtered honey where it's been basically clarified through filtration so it doesn't cloud it up.
Yeah.
And see what that added sweetness.
But I mean, that being said, like, I mean, this,
It's very smooth. It's not one of those spirits that like
it's basically like Kettle One. I'd put it on the same level. It's got some heat, but like it's not bad. And it's only in the back of your throat. Front of the palate smooth. I would say Goose, but I hate Goose, so we're not gonna. This is better than Goose as far as if we were gonna compare it to vodka.
yeah, it's smooth.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Caribbean rums where
Yeah.
it's made for you to just drink a shot and then have a sip of Coke. Pretty cool.
Whoever made this did a great job.
Yeah, they did. Well, this is really interesting. You know, you see, especially on Reddit, you see people ask, well, what if I freeze jack mead or what if I distill mead? Will the honey flavor persist? And I feel like the conversation is always sort of guesswork.
Yeah.
And so here we have a one-on-one, the mead and the shine made from the mead. And we can see that there's some carryover, but it's also a fairly neutral spirit on the other end.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like if I'm going to use grappa as an example, or any high ABV like vodka type thing. I mean, sure, yeah, if you really, really look for it, you might be able to give some discerning characteristics, but it's made to mix or made to drink with other things. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of the deal. So you're going to end up with a very similar situation with this.
Yeah. Yep. No, I tried this in a drink that was basically like citrus juice heated up because I had a little bit of a cold. I don't know if you can tell. And it really it mixes really well with citrus, and heating it up like burns all that stuff out of your sinuses. Like it perfumes it out. Worked really well. Yeah, I think as a mixer, this is killer. It's not the type of thing that I think I would like sit around, you know, pinky in the air drinking with like
No.
an ice ball in it.
I mean, you could, but you're not going to last long if you're doing that.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for this.
Indeed,
I thought
thank
this was
you.
fun and something that you're probably not going to see a lot on YouTube. So I'm glad we had the opportunity to try it. You may have seen David before on the channel. He's back. It's been like a year.
It
I
has.
think.
I mean, you know, life.
Life gets in the way, but you're going to see him here, and you're going to see him in another video if it hasn't already been out already. And so thank you for being here and for doing this taste test. You know how to find us online because you're already here, but here are all the other ways that you can join up with the channel. And until next time, happy brewing, happy mead making, and cheers.